There are moments in life when everything seems delayed. You pray, you wait, you believe, and yet nothing moves. The doors stay shut, the answers don't come, and time seems to slip through your hands like sand. You start to wonder, is something wrong with me? Did I miss it? Did God forget me? But here's the truth. Time may teach you patience, but the timing of Allah teaches you trust. And His timing is never late, never early, always perfect. You see, we live in a world obsessed with speed, fast results, instant answers, immediate outcomes. But heaven doesn't follow Earth's deadlines. It operates on eternity's clock. And when Allah delays something, it's not to harm you. It's to shape you. You are being made ready for what you prayed for. You are being developed in the unseen so you can be trusted in the seen. The delay is not punishment. It's preparation. Every trial you're walking through, every season that feels like a wilderness, every silent stretch where your prayers echo back without a reply, those are not wasted moments. Those are divine appointments with growth. You are being taught to let go of control. You are being taught to walk by faith, not by sight. You are being taught to believe even when you don't see it, feel it, or understand it. Time will teach you through experience. It will teach you through disappointment. It will teach you through loss and heartbreak. But Allah's timing will teach you something greater. It will teach you to trust His character, not just His gifts. It will teach you that He is working even when you see no evidence, that His silence is not absence, that His delay is not denial. It's a setup for something beyond what you could imagine. And when His timing arrives, it changes everything. Suddenly, the doors open. Suddenly, the healing flows. Suddenly, the purpose behind the pain becomes clear. Suddenly, what you waited years for shows up in a moment, and you realize why it had to happen this way, why it couldn't have come sooner, why every not yet day was a shield, every waited was a gift, every delay was a divine design. So don't rush the process. Don't force what God is still forming. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. Your time is coming. But more importantly, His time is coming. And when it does, you will look back and realize it was never about how long it took. It was about who you became while you waited. Time may have taught you endurance, but His timing taught you trust, and in the end, that trust will lead you exactly where you were always meant to be. Because time teaches everyone, but Allah's timing is always perfect. There are moments in life when the path ahead feels unclear, the weight becomes unbearable, and the heart begins to question whether the promise will ever come to pass. In those moments, it's easy to confuse delay with denial. But what many fail to understand is that delay is often a mark of divine intention, not rejection. When something you prayed for doesn't happen on your schedule, it's not because it's been denied, it's because it's being refined. There is a process in the waiting that cannot be skipped. A purpose that can only be fulfilled in time, not in haste. The delay is where your character is formed. It's where your motives are tested. It's where your heart is prepared to carry what you asked for. Because sometimes if the blessing comes too soon, it can become a burden. If the door opens before you're ready, you may not be able to handle what's on the other side. So the delay becomes a divine tool of love and wisdom, not punishment. It's a sacred space where you are molded, stretched, and transformed. Many people want quick answers and instant breakthroughs, but anything truly valuable requires time to grow. A seed doesn't bear fruit overnight. It must go through darkness, pressure, and waiting before it breaks through the soil. Likewise, in the seasons when everything seems hidden, when prayers feel unanswered and nothing seems to move, something is still happening beneath the surface. You may not see it, but you are being prepared. The situation is being aligned. The right people are being positioned. The circumstances are being perfected. If you try to rush this process, you might step into something unripe and unready. But when you surrender to the timing, you allow life to unfold in a way that brings peace and clarity. You learn to walk not by sight, but by trust. And that trust becomes stronger in the delay than it ever would in the immediate. The delay builds faith muscles. It teaches endurance, humility, and resilience. It strips away impatience and self-reliance and teaches you to depend fully on the one who sees what you cannot. So when you find yourself in the waiting, don't give up. Don't mistake the silence for abandonment. Don't see the closed door as a final answer. Instead, see it as protection, as redirection, as love. Because often the very thing you're waiting for is also waiting for you to grow into the version of yourself that can truly receive it, carry it, and use it well. The delay is sacred. The wait is not wasted. And though it feels like nothing is happening, everything is happening. Everything is happening. In the perfect time, what is meant for you will come. Not a moment too soon and never a second too late. Time has a way of teaching us through experience. Through every heartbreak, disappointment, and delay, we learn the lessons that only life can teach. Patience, resilience, and endurance. But there is a higher classroom, one that cannot be reached by time alone. It is the classroom of trust, and it is taught not by circumstance, but by divine timing. While the passing of time develops your understanding, it is the perfection of divine timing that shapes your faith. One can live through many years and gain wisdom, but to truly walk in peace during uncertainty requires something deeper. It requires trust in what you cannot see. A trust is not built in comfort. It's built in silence. When your prayers seem unanswered and the heavens feel distant, it's not that you are forgotten. It's that you are being called into a deeper relationship, one not built on what you receive, but on who you believe. Divine timing is not just about outcomes. It's about alignment. It places the right people, the right opportunities, and the right moments into your life, not when you think you need them, but when your heart, mind, and purpose are prepared to carry them. This trust is uncomfortable because it asks you to release your grip on control. It calls you to lay down your schedule, your agenda, your expectations, and simply believe that what is meant for you will come, not because you forced it, but because you trusted for it. In doing so, you begin to live from a place of surrender rather than striving. You start to recognize that some delays are actually mercies in disguise, and that unanswered prayers were sometimes a protection you didn't know you needed. When you look back on your life, some of the moments that once confused or hurt you will become the very moments that prepared you for what you're walking in now. What felt like a detour was a hidden path. What felt like loss was the clearing for something greater to grow. And what felt like silence was actually a whisper guiding you into trust. Faith in divine timing doesn't eliminate the questions, but it gives peace in the midst of them. It doesn't remove the weight, but it changes how you wait. Instead of anxiety, there is expectation. Instead of fear, there is confidence. Instead of desperation, there is hope. Trust transforms the waiting room into a sacred space where you're not just hoping something will happen. You know that it will exactly when it's supposed to. Time may teach through life, but divine timing teaches the heart. It trains you to see beyond the temporary and believe in something eternal. And once you've learned to trust that kind of timing, no delay can steal your peace, and no closed door can shake your confidence, because you know, without a doubt, that what is meant for you will come, not early, not late, but right on time. In a world governed by deadlines, clocks, and pressure to achieve quickly, it can be easy to assume that everything must happen fast in order to be successful or meaningful. But divine timing doesn't operate by human calendars or clocks. It doesn't rush when we're impatient, and it doesn't slow down when we're ready. Instead, it follows a design that is higher than what we understand, one that aligns with purpose, growth, and eternal value. That's why human urgency can never disrupt what is destined to unfold. When something is meant for you, no amount of pressure, delay, or interference can cancel it. We often look at time as a threat. We fear we're running out of it. We think we're behind, late, or losing ground. But the truth is, divine timing is never dictated by earthly pace. The opportunity that is yours will not be given to someone else. The moment that is meant for you will not expire. You can't miss what's truly yours if you continue to walk faithfully. That's why rushing ahead is never the answer. Trying to force what isn't ready will only bring frustration and emptiness. But when you choose to trust the process, you allow life to unfold as it was meant to, with peace and purpose. Some doors remain closed for a reason. Some people leave your life for a reason. Some prayers aren't answered right away for a reason. And all of it points to a timing that is wiser than yours. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming the person who is ready to receive it. What good is a blessing if you're not mature enough to carry it? What good is an opportunity if your character hasn't been strengthened to steward it well? Divine timing ensures that when the promise comes, you're not just receiving a gift, you're walking in alignment. There are countless moments where what seemed like a missed opportunity later revealed itself as divine protection. What looked like a rejection turned out to be redirection. What felt like a delay led to something far greater than originally imagined. You begin to see that nothing was wasted and that every detour had a purpose. And this kind of vision only comes when you release the burden of rushing and start trusting in a higher timeline. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. You prepare, you grow, you stay faithful in the small things, but you do it with the understanding that when it's time, nothing will be able to stop what's meant for you. Divine timing brings clarity, not confusion. It brings peace, not panic. It brings lasting fruit, not temporary satisfaction. So even when life feels slow or uncertain, know this. The timing is being perfected. The calendar may not look like yours, but the outcome will be exactly what you need, when you need it most. There are moments in life when the waiting feels endless, when the heart is heavy with unanswered prayers, and when the soul questions whether the promise will ever become reality. In those moments, it is easy to feel forgotten, overlooked, or abandoned. But what if the very waiting that feels so painful is the soil in which something extraordinary is being planted? What if the delay is not the absence of the blessing, but the preparation of something so perfect that it could only come at the appointed time? When it finally arrives, it does not just answer the prayer, it rewrites the story. There is something uniquely powerful about receiving something in the right time. It lands differently. It feels divine. It makes sense of everything that didn't make sense before. All the nights you cried, all the times you almost gave up, all the no's and closed doors that left you broken, they suddenly align. The blessing that arrives in perfect timing carries more than joy. It carries redemption. It heals what was broken. It restores what was lost. And it elevates you to a place you couldn't have reached any other way. Often people pray for something and expect immediate answers. But some blessings are too big to be rushed. They require foundation, depth, and strength. They require your character to match your calling. They require your soul to be humbled and your heart to be aligned. That's why divine timing doesn't just give you what you want. It gives you what will last. And anything built in His time is built to endure. You may not realize it, but the waiting season is doing something sacred in you. It's preparing your eyes to recognize the blessing when it arrives. It's preparing your heart to handle it with gratitude and not entitlement. It's preparing your spirit to remain grounded when the elevation comes. Because when it does come, it won't be shallow or fleeting. It will be deep, meaningful, and eternal in its impact. It will be the kind of moment that shifts everything, not just externally, but internally too. This kind of breakthrough doesn't come through striving. It comes through surrender. It comes through the quiet moments where you chose faith over fear, hope over despair, and trust over panic. Every time you chose to believe when nothing made sense, you planted a seed. And when the rain finally comes and the breakthrough finally rises, it won't be a surprise. It will be a harvest. When divine timing fulfills a promise, it confirms everything you held on to in the dark. It tells you that none of it was in vain. The impossible becomes your reality. The broken places become testimonies, and the silence becomes the background for a song of joy you never thought you'd sing. What comes in perfect time doesn't just bless you, it blesses everyone connected to your journey. Because it's not just about what you receive, it's about who you've become by the time it arrives. The journey through time and waiting is never easy, but it is sacred. While time may shape our understanding through trials and experience, it is divine timing that shapes our trust, our character, and ultimately our destiny. Every delay has meaning, every silence holds purpose, and every unanswered prayer carries the weight of something greater in the making. Abba! What is meant for you will not miss you, not because you chased it, but because you trusted for it. When the moment finally comes, you'll see that the wait was never wasted, because time teaches all, but His timing is always perfect.